Welcome back, it's Frank. So we're going to look into how to add a Chrome extension, the stock Chrome extension to TradingView. So here is, we'll go ahead and look at TradingView first. So here's TradingView, and we're going to go ahead and look at the chart. Here's what you're going to see, right? So you're going to see pretty much this when you get here. What I suggest you do is go ahead and log in. If you don't have an account, create an account with TradingView. This will help your information so that things are pretty simple. And right here, I have nothing here, right? So pretty simple. So what I'm gonna do is you should automatically download your files. It should be a let's see. Okay, so you may have some kind of Chrome extension, right? And what you do is you'll just have to extract it out. So once you've done that, put it somewhere that you will use it quite a bit. Let's see what happened to it. There you go. Put it somewhere that you use it quite a bit, and then you'd be pretty safe location. I don't know, in your documents folder or somewhere that you feel is safe. All right. Of course, you extract it because it's gonna be in a zip file. So extract it out, stick it somewhere, and just reference that file. All you need to do is that. Now come in here, go to Chrome, semicolon slash extensions. All right, so here's your common extensions here. I mean, whatever you got on your page, you download whatever you got. So what you do is you say, okay, go ahead and load unpacked, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to choose. You'll be a little different for you, but for now I'm gonna choose my build. I'm gonna select it. There it is, automatically. There's Ironman TradingView. Already ready to go. So now what we do is come back to TradingView, right? And just hit refresh or hit enter, whatever you want to do. Boom. Now this shows up, right? This is what I've built. I had this also with a friend named Jorge. You collaborate with this, and you can look there at pages, whatever, to see what you need. Here's a few instructions. The instructions need work, so trust me, they may not be great for now, but just look at this tutorial I'm showing you now, and you'll figure it out. And in terms of policies, read this, because whatever you do, it is your choice, it's your decision. And if you do anything, I'm not responsible. We are not responsible. And anything you do that gives away this product, you're not allowed to do that. This is just for educational purposes only. And then you're not allowed to give this away to anyone. That's the kind of restriction I have on this. If it's given to you, you have your own account. Let's get started. So you get started with this, right? You go ahead and click on one of these two you choose, Google or GitHub, right? So keep in mind that the people I've given this account to would have the account. So if you log in and I don't know who you are on my login list, you're going to be deactivated, just straight up, right? So you won't be able to get in. Here you go. And log in. All right. So here is it set up. So now it's beginning to start adding in a list of tickers for it to start evaluating on its own. I'm not adding any tickers or anything to it. Automatically is taking this list here from the most momentum stocks and the high likely stocks we have in the list of, and automatically starts adding them here. Also, so let me break down a few things we got here. So this section here is the main pane, right? I know it's a little small, so you might want to make it a little bigger. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Not quite. Yeah, make it a little bigger. Automatically it sets it down smaller so you can use it. So anyway, so right here, the main pane. What's happening in front of me right now that keep popping up like that is just it keeps trying to add in all of these tickers here, so you can start monitoring in that data in real time. Over here we have 2 brokerages and 2 paper accounts. Alpaca, Gemini, Alpaca, and Gemini. So Alpaca is the stock brokerage. Gemini is the crypto brokerage. You put in. So what you need to do is go to that particular one. So I'll look at the brokerage here. So here is Alpaca. You need to go to that. Here is Gemini. Click on that one. It's kind of hard to click on it when it's doing this in real time because it's taking precedence. All right, here's that one, Gemini, and they have their respective paper accounts as well. So you can go ahead and just So what you do is you go into that accounts that went up, and then you automatically request an API key. So you have to search around and look for the API key in secret. Once you have done that, stick it in here. Stick your API key here and your key and your secret here. These are not stored on any database. They are still locally through the local Chrome storage. So basically, it's just saved on your computer, and it uses that to access it, right? So if you clear your cache, it's going to go away. So what I would say is keep it safe somewhere, just in case you clear your cache, because if you clear your cache, it's going to be gone, which means you got to go back and get a new API key, or you have to pull it from somewhere else. So, and they don't store it for you, so you have to store it somewhere. Anyway, so here we have the investment amount, the number of positions. I have it set to 10. I have number. So any one time you have 10 positions. Now you have less than that, of course, but any one time you have a maximum of 10. You have 0.5 as the minimum percentage of gains you can have. It will try to stay above that, and if it gets above that, it maybe sell it, but it won't sell less than that unless it's really tanking, which then it has preventions on that as well. You have testing, trading. You have your testing, paper, and live trading as we have up here. Of course, the default is set at testing, so you can test it around with it. Once you have your paper account set up, you can start using paper account, which is also pretty decent as well. And then when you feel comfortable, go ahead and put your thing for live trading, and that should work. Right here we have normal, which is just, I have it set to normal, which is trading both small trades and large trades with higher risk. You have low risk, which is, I don't suggest it, but if you want more smaller micro trades, this is good for that. And then high risk is a lot less frequency in trading. It could be a day or so. We may only have 2 trades, but it's actually looking for the more promising trades. So this is an algorithm that we're working on and continuing to improve. Right now, in this particular setting, we have the dev setting set on. So you can't change anything in dev setting, but it gives you some more information, such as documentation here that we have. And because you are currently looking at an early version of this and probably testing it, we give you a little bit of information on some of this documentation here. Also, when you hit the button start automation, this is a very important button right here. This will start running all of this. So right now it's kind of partially evaluating it, but it's not actually running yet. It's just evaluating. Down here is this button here has been added in for you, which will give you your current positions and total and everything like that. So this, if you start using a live or your paper account, this will automatically fill in once you selected that and have the keys in here. If you don't have the keys in here, then it won't work. It's not going to do anything. So if I try to say, okay, select them to paper trading, right? Right now, it would try to go on to get it, but there's nothing there for it to get. So because there's no keys here, so therefore it's not going to do anything. It's going to sit there. Anyway, and start fresh. This button is not fully functional yet, but we'll get to there. All right, so that's pretty much it. You can get rid of this here. Boom, boom. That's there. Over here, you have 2 main buttons. This main button makes it go away, so it looks like this again, almost like the normal feature you had beforehand. But if you click on this, it expands it back out. Okay, and then over here, your picture you have, you see here, you can go back and look at the, sign out here, your image, and you can see some more information. Like I said, instructions, terms of policy, login, and we'll probably expand this portion out more over time. Okay, what I suggest is, you see this right here, I would like to lock these, and I may work on locking these in the future. You have to keep it on this blue button, right? Because this blue button is this portion. So if I change this to a time clock, right, it's going to get rid of that. And it won't be able to get the data to make this process. And see how it stops? Or here, news, which is not all that useful to me. What I want is this. So it's a little buggy. We're working on that. So I'll come here. There you go. So kind of fix it a little bit. But what happens is you need to keep it on the watch list. The watch list is most important because the watch list is where you collect the data to make the analysis and then do the actual trading. So with that said, let's begin. I'm not going to do paper trading because I don't have any keys in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to test, right? And I'm going to start running. So as I start running, automated trading just began. Automatically, it's already been evaluating ones already. It chose Netflix, so Netflix is here. You can see over here that these different ones are getting picked up automatically. Let me pull this down. I suggest that you keep this. That's kind of hard to get to because they're probably gonna pick up 10 of them by now. So I probably won't be able to get to it because there's gonna be a lot going on. So you just sit back and let it do it. Because if you get in the way, you're just gonna be. If anything you want to do to this chart, do it before you hit that button. Because right now you see it says stop main console. It's still in a function. Like you could stop it, but you can't restart it again until you refresh the page. So I'm working on trying to be able to fix that so it can restart again without refreshing the page. But it doesn't matter if you want to refresh the page, fine. No big deal. Of course, you would lose the current tickers you have here. All right. With that said, let's move on. Down here, these tickers, right? You can click on them. Netflix, right? You see Netflix, but because it's adding more on, it's going to end up moving them along. So don't mess with them because it would end up changing the values of stuff. So let's see. Where's Neo? Okay. So Netflix 590 is that what? Yeah, 590. So if you want to see the chart, so a few things before I see the chart. Over here, it shows you buying, selling performance. Because I have Dev on, you get to see some of this information. 0% right now until it starts buying and selling, then you start seeing the actual percentage of performance on your buying and selling based upon what it could have gotten. Then you see the last time refresh. So it has refresh points throughout the course of the day to help it keep it from overloading as fast. Then right here, these are the weights. These are the weights some AI has been applied to this. These are the weights that are shifting as you buy and sell. Of course, the test number that's being done. This is test number 2. Since you are going to add yours in, you can see this last number is the number of times you've ran this, right? And of course, methodology and stuff like this and some of the documentation. Over here, like I said, you see these lines, right? This is a little complex, so I'll help explain this. As this color is the back color is green, what that means is the prediction that we have on that is going upward. When it's gray, it means it's kind of static. It's not moving upward or downward. At least not the prediction is not going upward or downward. It's kind of it doesn't know. And when it's kind of like this burnt reddish color, it's saying that it's probably going to go down, right? Along with that, you have this little layer in front of it. Like this one here, you see there's a little bit of a lighter layer sitting on top of it with a little bar on it. What that means is that it's going upwards towards the buy signal. So what happened over here is there's all these computations happening, but you don't need to know what's going on over here. It's just kind of a sense of like, okay, it's computing. But as this goes up, right, towards the top, it is closer and closer to a signal of where it could buy. Right, which means that if I get rid of this, let's look at KR, right? Come on, there you go. Takes a little bit of time for it to move. All right, so, well, you gotta keep in mind, I would suggest that you switch from the day to the 15-minute. Like that. Okay. So as you see in the 15-minute, see how it's came down and it's coming into this curve right here. You can have your more charts on there, but it looked like it's going to get to a certain point, and see it's already coming up now. So it's already coming up and beginning to grow. See, so it is at a critical point. We kind of missed it because we just started this, but if we were a little earlier on, we could have kind of got that little crevice here and bought in, and it rode this upward a little bit. You see these little things like Neo's coming up some, and see Tesla, Netflix, all these they're kind of low. They're kind of just sitting at the bottom, which means they're probably at their peak. So look at Netflix. Come on, Netflix. Let's go. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. That's why we have them. That's why we say don't mess with it too much because it's running. Netflix, it's kind of peaking, so it's kind of like it's not really going before it comes down. That's what I'm saying is probability if it's still going up is true, but it's kind of peaking at its current point. As keep in mind, as more data comes in, as you're letting it run, it becomes a little bit more understanding of the information. Neo is coming up pretty nicely. Let's take a look at Neo. That means it's probably bottom up some and ready to take a little bit of a run. But let's see what Neo is doing. So Neo, it came up, okay, and is now swooping down, and it might be coming up a little bit. So it might be coming up a little bit from here. We'll see how far it goes. But this here is constantly trying to determine if this is a good buy or not, right? And that's constantly what's going on here. This list here is a pretty long list, right? This list is evaluating all these tickers over here that we were adding in to constantly figure out where is the most likelihood of choosing something that could work, right? So these are the ones it chose from. Like, now look at ATOS. That's or whatever that symbol, ATOS. They're a little slow. You click on them, but that's because it's processing. Maybe your computer's a little faster. Oh, that's pretty low. Yeah, maybe there's something there that it could buy, but it hasn't figured it out yet because maybe it's still pressing downward. So it needs to see some good momentum before it starts buying up. That's what it tries to do before it buys anything. All right, CTRX just got pulled to the list. Actually, a few of them getting pulled to the list right now. ANY, as you can see here, it's kind of like there it is. This one here, ANY, see that one there is kind of like down. It might pull some up from there. We'll see. It definitely had a big drop. And then another one, SDAO. So that's another one we have on the list. SDAO is low, but it could start coming back up again, indicating that maybe there is a turn on the market today. We don't know. Remember, SDAO is a triple negative on the Dow Jones. So it's an ETF. So it may not buy that based on the regulations on the. Like if you pull it back over here again, you can see the these here might have restrictions. What I suggest you do in these brokerages, in both of them, especially in Apaca, make sure, like I can show you the Apaca brokerage paper account. Since it's not real money, you can kind of see it. Let's log in. Here is the Apaca account, right? And it goes and buys and sells on its own without me. Make sure in your paper account, right? When you create your paper account, go to configuration and make sure you have no shorting turned on, right? That's no shorting, right? So make sure it doesn't short, because if it does, it starts going negative. And sometimes it might think it's a good thing to go negative. So make shorting is turned off. All right. So you push the button, and remember, whenever you, I'll show you a few things here. If you come back to your, let's see, overview here, right? There's a button right here that says reset. You can reset your account. I'm not gonna click on it, but if you click it, this goes back to whatever value you set. If you say I want to say $30,000, it'll set this to actually $30,000. You will set it to $100,000, it'll set it $100,000, and it gives you the buying power of 4 times that amount. So it allows you to pick whatever you want, and you can see how your stock was doing over time. This is come down some. You may say, well, why is it negative? Well, because I reset it, and then I was trying to test some things, and I was fixing some issues. So, of course, it kind of went down from that. So, again, this is how that works. And these things here, what's nice about this is it has a 5-minute window. If it doesn't seem to figure itself out in 5 minutes, it drops it and allows something else on here to be picked. So it doesn't take up a lot of time. Now, if something is bought, and I can show you, for example, let's go with Neo. Because Neo has the highest, maybe KR has a little bit of a higher one. Let's just go with, let's go with Neo. I'm a forced buy. I'm not saying don't force buy. I'm just saying, I'm just showing it for purposes. Forced buy, and automatically we just bought a forced buy of Neo, right? Since I don't have it connected to a true account right now, like my Alpaca or anything, it's only system based, which means there's nowhere else except for right here. However, if I click on this, you can see down here, I said Neo buy. It automatically tries to compute, since I have $1,000, right? And I have a maximum number of 10 shares. It tries to compute the most likely amount of shares, whole number based on the price of Neo. Neo was at $40.14. Well, I can only buy 2 shares because the maximum from 100 divided by 10 is $100. So 1,000 divided by 10 is $1,000. $1,000 divided by 10 is $100, right? So when you divide out that, it's $100. So you say, okay, well, $100 divided by 40 is 2.2, whatever like that. You round this off, automatically gives you 3. It gives you 2. Then you multiply it by it again, and it gives you $80.28. You kind of see what I'm saying here? So it helps keeps your asset management pretty fair. So right now your balance still is $1,000 because you haven't sold it yet, and this is system paper, right? Of course, why is that on a date? Oh, I'm gonna have to fix this because it might be backwards for these two. Anyway, these are backwards, but this is supposed to be here and not supposed to be here. The whole purpose is the system hasn't been changed yet, but it works for the paper and the brokerage. So that's it. That's how that works. And if something's bought, for example, right now there's a 4% negative loss and a 10% trailing stop loss. What I mean by 4% negative loss is if it's below the price you bought, it goes down 4% before it decides to sell, so you don't lose too much money. Now, there's 10% trailing stop loss, which is if it is above the price you bought, but it's still trailing below 10%, automatically it sells as well, because you don't want to lose that money. So that's what you got going on there. So at the end of the day, right now it's taking a little bit of a loss, as you can see, because there is still some dropping going on. Hold on, that's Workhorse. We'll look over here at Neo, and I kind of see why Neo's dropping. You already know already based on a lot of the changes that are going on with the. Well, it's not dropping too much. It's actually done okay. But we'll see how that goes. But it's down a little bit. But chances are, based on probability, it's probably going to be going back up again. It's just taking a little bit of its time to figure itself out, right? You can kind of see it by a little bit of the volume here. You can kind of see that. You have more indicators, but when you log into your account, your indicators, everything will still show up here. So you should just make sure you log into your account to make sure you can see all this stuff. This is not my actual account. This is just an alias account, but you can see all this here comes right in for you. Where's this list coming from? This list is something that I'm generating from my server. What it does is it picks up a momentum list, and you can kind of see it here. The momentum, do I have it here? No, I don't have it here. Well, what I'll probably do is I'll probably add it in later on. But there is a actual list, a momentum list I have that I pull from, that I do a little bit of computation on top of it, and then I put it in here. So it helps with, better probabilities and all that good stuff along with it. So, and these things come from that. So right here it shows it's live trading. If you want to refresh it, you can click this button here, and it will refresh this list. Get a new fresh list from the actual server. Note, there's a few things you want to know. This list automatically switches around 3:55 p.m. It switches over to the crypto list only, right? So right now you don't have anything on here crypto. Well, you do, but based on this list here, there's some crypto ones on here. Automatically, all the ones that are not crypto will fall off, and you only see the crypto ones on this list. It's going to continue to keep trading into the evening. So if you have a Gemini, which is crypto, it will automatically keep trying to trade those based on your asset allocation. So right now you have invested $172 because you apparently bought Groupon and Neo, right? You're down 16 cents, but you have $177 invested. You have $827 and 866 cash available to still invest based on this number here. Of course, you can change this number if you want. I wouldn't say change it. I'm saying I would only do that if you know you have the money in your account. Otherwise, you will be going negative, or your account would say you don't have insufficient funds. That's your responsibility. But see here, Neo and then Groupon. The arrow here shows that was the last one. That's your last account balance based upon the last transaction and the amount you have left. Of course, it's still $1,000 because you haven't sold anything. Let's go for a sale. I'm going to go ahead and force a sale. I would not suggest you do any of this stuff I'm doing. It should do it by itself. Like it bought Groupon by itself. I didn't buy Groupon. It bought it on its own. But what it's suggesting is it believes that, close that off, it believes that Neo is going to go up from here. So it's going to keep going, need to go up. So but I say, you know what? I'm going to do this because I'm trying to show how it works. I don't suggest you click for sale unless you feel as though it's a bad day. Of course, you can always go back to here and do the force sale as well. There's nothing here because it's not connected. But I can say, you know what? Force sell it. And automatically it sold it for me. All right. And here it is. Neo sold. Lost 16 cents on that. And it dropped down my account. Now I should have updated this value. But we'll look into that. Anywho, so you can see now if I refresh this page, it's going to be gone because remember this is test. This is not real information on any brokerage, even paper. It's just testing it on this machine in real time. So if this server goes down, your computer goes down, and you restart it, this won't be here. It's just there because it's processing in real time. Keep in mind here you go to trading panel, right? This is nice. You go to trading panel, you can choose. I don't know why it's, yeah, here it goes. Now remember I told you about Alpaca. You can choose here to connect to Alpaca so you can see Alpaca in real time. And Gemini as well. So you can have Alpaca and Gemini, both of them here. You can see the real data. Like you, instead of coming to here and seeing it, you can see the real stuff here. And then here is the algo, all the trade stuff that's happening based on the system. And it should jive, roughly jive. And there you go. There you have it. That is the everything. Now, a few more things. See 32 cents, still a loss. That's because when I sold it, now I'm down 32 cents. So now I'm 198.68. And then here's the amount of money I have cash available. Number of trades, I had 1. Number of tickers, there's 9 tickers here. And there's number of positions, there's still 1 position open. So I had 1 trade, 1 position, and 9 tickers. Over here is my total percent per position is red. These need to be green, which means I need to have at least 2% per position. That would be green. That means it's at least 2% is okay. And this here should also be, this is the average percentage per day. And you would like to have a good 2% per day, 3% per day. The higher this is, average per day, this is the log function. So day over day pretty much gains, which is really good. If you get day over day gains of 3%, that's incredible. And you can do that every day. You can get 144 times by the end of the year. So your goal is to make sure you get your day over day to be pretty high. All right. So of course we want to build a system to keep up with day over day. Remember, don't click on these unless you're not trading, unless you're going to go ahead and log out, right? And then you can go ahead and click on this. But if you're planning on doing any kind of actual trading, do not log out. Or do not mess with these. They will mess up this here, and you won't be able to use it. All right. So again, before we close out, that's everything I showed you. Just make sure you look at the terms and policy. Do not give this away to anyone. Don't be a jerk. Don't abuse the system. Don't mess around with any of the stuff coded back in. I obfuscated the code and I kind of encrypted it a little bit. You log in. All we can get to is you can log into the account. If you choose to not do that, I don't know. I just say do the right thing. All right. Thanks for watching, and I think we'll see you next one.